It doesn't matter how often I stray, I still come back to these. Welcome back, friends. Happy Monday. I hope you're all doing well. There are seemingly now 1 million different handlebars out there, and they're adding more all the time. I haven't ridden them all, obviously, but I've ridden a fair number, and I always tend to come back to the same 1 or 2 bars. Now, handlebars are important, obviously, as we've discussed. They account for 2 of the 5 touch points on the bike. And so that means they're not only important, but they tend to be very personal. So do not take this necessarily as a recommendation. It's just, this is what works for me. Maybe it'll work for you and maybe it won't. So what I have for you today is a drop bar and a not drop bar. Now, full disclosure, I have not ridden a drop bar really in a very long time. I had a short dalliance with a drop bar on my bridge club. It wasn't the bar; it was me, and so I went back to the Moloko. The drop bar, if I were going to ride one, would be the Nito Noodle. And this is the picture that was underneath the thumbnail. It's quite old, and it was taken on the return trip from what might have been a overly enthusiastic run to the grocery store. At the time that I got these, the Noodle was one of the few bars that were available in a width, like this is a 46. So it's quite wide. They have bars now, obviously, that are much wider. But the thing that I really like, and the thing that would keep bringing me back to the Noodle, and if I were ever going to ride a drop bar again, it would likely be a Noodle, is the ramp. And what I mean by that is this section right here. It is very long, and if your bar is tilted thusly, it's almost flat. From the ramp, the transition to the brake lever hood, it's just very comfortable. And then you take this little bend here, also quite comfortable. Before anybody asks about the tape, if you look closely, maybe, I don't know if it'll focus, you might see just a little bit of blue poking out under the twine. That's the color the tape was to begin with. If you remember the shellac video I did not that long ago, that's basically a Viva light blue tape with many coats at this point of amber shellac. So it's a deep drop, Chris. Drop bars don't, the drop isn't that deep on most bars. Yeah, but I'm not riding in the drops anyway. So what difference does it make? And if I do, it's not for very long. So the Nito Noodle, I saw that they're going to actually make like a 52 Noodle. I think I read that in one of the Rivendell emails. I may be wrong about that, but that would be quite interesting. So yeah, the Nito Noodle. Love it. So what about the non-drop bar? Because that's what I'm riding most of the time, and that is the Albatross. I mean, that picture just says it all. Now, the Albatross comes in 3 varieties now. You've got heat-treated aluminum, which is a 25-4 clamp. You've got chromoly with a 25-4 clamp, also known as the North Road. And you've got heat-treated aluminum with a 31/8 clamp area. Now, there are slight variations in those bars with width, sweep, and rise, but they're pretty minimal. And I tend to treat the bar in all of its iterations the same. Again, it's just a very pleasing handlebar. It's got a little bit more angle to it than the drops in a drop bar would have. This is where I would spend most of my time. And I've yet to ride a bar that is as comfortable to me as the Albatross. I've tried the Chacos and Boscos and Albastashes and all manner of other types of Nito swept-back bars, but to me, nothing beats the Albatross. And I have to do an honorable mention, and the honorable mention would be the Surly Terminal Bar. That's the bar that I've got on the Truckosaurus, and I've gotten to the point where I kind of favor that over the Moloko. The Moloko bar I've got on my Bridge Club, but just having this area here to put my hands on, to me is nicer than having that kind of straight out position that you would have on the Moloko. And I'm not, you know, clamping a bunch of stuff to those bars anyway. So yeah, Nito Noodle, Nito Albatross, and then the runner-up, the consolation prize, goes to the Terminal Bar. What's your favorite bar? Put it down in the comments below. Go! Oh, and also, if you're hitting the super thanks, and I do thank you for that, you've got an opportunity to leave a comment there. Please do, so I know who's doing that. I hope something good happens to you today. Until next time, be nice, work hard, ride bikes, play music when you can. I'll talk to you soon.